crew, the family I found in Starfleet. We made a pretty good team.
Congrats on season 5. Congrats on season 5 of Discovery.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To quote a certain someone, it's been a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a journey up until this point. Wilson said on Threads that this is going to end. First of all, shout out to keeping Threads a thing.
That's right.
Because, the alternative is still as toxic as ever, let me tell you.
refuse to go to that hellhole.
But you said that this is going to, you teased, this is going to end on a
High note.
high
Yes,
note.
I've said it.
Yes.
If this was the season that we were going to have to end on,
Yeah.
I'm glad that we ended on a high note.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's one of our strongest seasons, if not our strongest.
Yeah. Doug, would you agree?
I would. It seems like every season we filmed so far has had a conclusion to it that's like, is that the end of the series? And we come back for more. And this time felt the same-ish. But then getting to come back and do a little epilogue shoot once we found out it was the last season, that really does give you a sense of, okay, that's a satisfying series conclusion. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's right.
I would love to go around the horn and ask, it's an amazing 5 seasons. This has been one of the most warmly received Star Trek properties, I think, of all time, and for good reason. You guys are going to be so sorely missed, let me tell you. But tell us, now that we're kind of looking back on things and celebrating the legacy of the series, tell us from each of you your favorite thing about playing these characters. Sonequa, pressure's on. You're starting.
Well,
I mean, my goodness, it's something that I've said a lot in this most recent press run for the final season is that character evolution is a tenet of our story. It's a cornerstone of Star Trek Discovery, and I think it's one of the special things, one of the sacred things that we offer to the franchise is you get to see these people become who they're meant to be, who they're destined to be. You get to see them become the heroes that the world needs, really that the universe needs. And so that character evolution was mirrored in my own life. I praise God for the growth that He took me through using Star Trek Discovery and using my relationships with these gorgeous people and the relationships in the story as well. From making television history twice to being a producer to being an executive producer, it's been like a huge, my goodness, the transformation, the growth, the height and the depth and the width and the breadth. It's astounding.
Yeah.
well,
Mary?
can you? Sorry. I kind of love it because I feel really taken care of, but can you repeat the question?
Yes. You've got to tell us your favorite thing about playing Tilly.
My favorite thing about playing Tilly, watch out, I'm gonna get you. Oh, you don't get me. My favorite thing about playing Tilly is the friendship between Tilly and Burnham. It's very beautiful to me, and I love it. And me too. Our real life friendship is very dear to me, and we bring that to all of our scenes with each other. We have a lot of love and tenderness for each other.
We do.
We're just two little girls in adult women's bodies.
That's exactly right. And we love those little girls in each other.
Yes, we love and celebrate and protect those little girls.
We sure do. We hold them close. You are one of the most brilliant actors I've ever seen in my real life.
You are.
It's true.
So it's true.
All of you are, though.
And Sneak was also so funny. Give me. You only support me when you want to. She cracks me up daily, and all of us, and created such a wonderful, warm, loving, and fun working environment. And I think it's like once in a lifetime kind of situation. It's all because of you, Rack.
Amen.
This is great.
You're
I
here.
couldn't have done it without you.
No, that's true.
Blue, how about you?
I'm just kidding.
It's true. I was like, thank you. Thank you.
I think that I very much opposite to you guys was not a little girl trapped in a young woman's body. And I'm very happy that I got to portray that and be bring so much of my own life into Adira and into that character. And I love acting, and I've always done it because it's given me a place to escape. And this was one of the first times where I was asked and encouraged to bring more of myself into a character and a person and a human being, and that was terrifying, but like the most rewarding thing in the world. And like seeing what that's done and hearing from people has like made all of it worth it, because sort of transitioned in front of the world, and that was terrifying, but it was so worth it. And
You did that.
this is my family, like very, very, very hard F family.
F-bomb the family.
We're unrated here. Just let him fly. Let him fly.
Don't tell them that.
I don't even think I don't know what I was going for. Yeah.
That was beautiful, guys in the back row. I mean, try to match these answers. We just hear pressure is on now. David,
what was the question again? I'm so sorry. I'm so
favorite
sorry.
thing
I'm
for
listening
you
to
would be
everyone
the
else.
favorite thing about playing book.
Favorite thing, you know what, like, apologies. It was the costume, because I remember seeing y'all Starfleet guys and what you had to wear, and thinking, oh, hell no, I can't do it. And then I saw the costume that I got, which was, very free-flowing. I had pockets.
Maybe
So-
like the most fashionable.
It was
character
quite
in-
fashionable. Gersha
quite up
Phillips,
there in the
House of
history of Star
Gersha.
Trek, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
that was glorious. Yeah. Definitely. And then also, SMG, getting to film in Iceland, that was special. I really, really, really enjoyed that. That was such a gift, right? So that's one of my favorite moments for sure. What about you?
Thank you, David. What about me? It's hard for me to really encapsulate what this character has meant for me. But first and foremost, he's reminded me that we are all owners of our own lives, and that at any given moment we can decide, you know what, this isn't working for me. This relationship isn't working for me, or this career, that we can reinvent ourselves at any given moment. And if our life isn't living up to our expectations, we can do something about it and create the life that we believe we deserve. He has allowed me as an actor to imagine the best version of myself, right? Who I would be if I really allowed myself to live up to my potential. And he's inspired that in me, and allowed me to imagine who that person would be. How can I best support the people I love and who love me, and return that love? That's really what he's given me. It's been a gift.
I remembered the question.
Gold star for Doug.
My
Do we have a prize for Doug?
Also, I've realized how good I look in white, so I will take that. Okay.
Life lessons.
Yes.
I'm very happy with the growth of Saru, and having gone on a journey with him from being a fearful Kelpian who lived in fear and anxiety, to losing all that and having confidence and courage, and also growing a warm empathy for other beings. And he's more of a hugger now than he ever was in season 1. Now he's a face cupper, and one who can share relationships, and to the point where he now has love of his own, a romantic love of his own. Seeing that whole metamorphosis of Saru has been a journey for me that's been great, and hearing people come back to me, fans that have watched the show, and say, I helped this anxiety thing, the path that you've been on, and getting over it has really helped me. And me personally, I've dealt with anxiety all my life, and fearful of what I can't see around the corner. So if Saru can get through it, so can I. It's kind of he's been a life lesson for me.
I mean, no, I was just gonna say, being able, I know goodness, each one of these actors is one of the most brilliant actors I've ever worked with, and having the connections that I've had with each of you, we've all had so many beautiful moments together on this show.
You've interacted with all of us. I mean, every character goes through
and
Burnham.
being able to create the stories that we've created together, being able to witness these people and the rest of our cast and our crew, and just being able to see people doing what they're doing and being able to witness it and being able to have all those special moments that each of us have had, that will also be my absolute favorite thing, because the art, man, is on another level with these people, with this show. It's on another level, and like, what a blessing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Well, I mean, speaking of connections, Burnham and Book, I mean, you Ross and Rachel of Star Trek, basically. Will they or will they not?
That's the first.
You know, went their separate ways. The end of season 4.
We're
like
on a break.
yeah.
A mutual break.
Yes. Well, tease where we're gonna find them in season 5.
Well, it's no secret that at the end of season 4, though the love is abundant, the relationship is fractured, and that's a hard thing to embrace. And there was a line, I spoke about this before, it's the line in season 5, episode 1, where after the adventure, we have a moment of quiet, and then Burnham says, I'm paraphrasing badly, I feel odd because I don't know how to be around you anymore. And that was such a heartbreaking, simple line, which just reflected their relationship where it was. But then throughout the season, I believe that these guys are always constantly offering each other olive branches to just build for a healthy reconciliation. Love perseveres, man.
Yeah.
Love is powerful. It really is. And I'm very grateful that we get to share our story. I ain't trying to get in trouble here.
I know. I was about to say.
I mean, I would admit, just picking up on the
Ditto.
dynamic, the beautiful dynamic among you guys, I would imagine it was very bittersweet to end this series. What can you say about those last days on set? How emotional?
Unbelievable. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I think the weirdest thing about it, I mean, you had to do more than anybody, but like we had one bridge day, which was cool. And I think the weird, eerie thing about it was it just felt like all the millions of bridge days that we've had. And all the joking and being ridiculous. And those are like my favorite moments. Those days could be really daunting, but like it was a party to like when everybody is on that set facing something down, just like the moments in between setups could just be so deliriously fun and full of love. And then you have like the deepest conversations of your life. Like,
And like the deep work, like, you know.
yeah, I mean, 1,000,000%. And so all of that happened, and one's lunch and like all of this, and then at the end it's just over. It was strange. Endings are so weird to comprehend. They don't really make sense. You know, it takes time to be like, oh yeah, it's over. But I remember, well, Wilson reminded me that you clap people out at the end of a season. So Sonequa, I think you led the clapping out.
Did.
I remember, like, I was just sitting there being so cool. You can tell I'm a pretty cool customer. And she said my name, and I just like exploded and like tears and like spit. Anyway, it was really weird, and even now it's like feels like a process of being like, it's over, but it's lovely.
My last day on set was, we had a scene, I mean, I won't say what was happening, but this one comes up to me, and we had an interaction that was not going to be any dialogue at all. And she whispered every time, I love you. And I whispered back, I love you. Every time we did take after take after take, and before long I'm getting like warbly, and she came up to me and she said, I could do this all day. I love you.
That's true. I was like, honestly, every time it felt like the first time.
I know. Yeah. So that just kind of summed up, honestly, my time on the show with all of you, really.
I'm just gonna say what we're all thinking. You guys are freaking adorable. You guys are freaking, the love in this room, the love among this cast is so beautiful to witness. I was gonna ask who cried the hardest, but I feel like
You.
Yeah, no, it was Sonequa.
They right. We all cried.
Well,
Everyone.
I will say I think on the call that we had when we were first told about the fact that the show's ending, I think I took the prize.
On that day. Yes,
on
you
that,
did. You did.
On that
You
day.
did.
Like to the point where people felt like they needed to call me after the call. You gonna be all right? I'm fine. I just have a lot of feelings. I'm an actor. I have all of them.
I mean, this series was groundbreaking in so many different ways. This is for whoever wants to take it, because I understand this is a little broad, but like when it comes to the legacy of the show, now looking back, what are you guys the most proudest of?
I mean, I'll just before I hand it over to Sonequa, I feel like, you know, when you look at every character on this show, every single one of us was given a second chance. We either failed at something or died or whatever it was, that we were afforded a second chance to become our best version of ourselves. And I hope that people take that with them, that nothing is set in stone. You are the author of your own book, of your own story, and you can take charge of it at any given moment and make your life exactly what you need it to be. But you have to choose that. You have to choose life. You have to choose to love it. You have to choose the people in your life who you know will support you and love you through it, that you can love in return. Those are all choices. We have to make those choices over and over again.
Preach. You better preach. It's just, I think, like, man, I think one of our legacies is that we went boldly. Don't y'all think? You know, it's like we went boldly into a new Trek. We brought Trek back to TV. We launched a streaming platform. People call this the new Latinum age, right? We became the mothership of a whole new Trek expansion. So many characters were able to come back. So many alumni from previous iterations have been able to come back, and now new people have been able to come into the world of this beautiful franchise. And then also we went into hyper serialization. We told our story as a novel in chapters. The Trek had never done it to that extent before. We went above and beyond with our diversity. We broke barriers. We broke through the glass ceiling. We made television history, and then we built this beautiful show family. You know, we were joking about it earlier, but it's true. We did it together. You know what I mean? And so I feel that we went boldly into this story. We went boldly into the world. We went boldly together. And I pray, I praise God for it, and I pray that is part of the legacy that we leave behind. I know legacy doesn't get decided until well after the fact, but you know, we can't really speak on what our legacy is going to be. We know what we hope it to be, but we can speak on it maybe 10 years from now. But we at least hope that's part of it.
Well, that's a great note to end on. We're going to clap you guys out. Again, give it up for the cast of Star Trek Discovery.